Salmon are the most awesome fish. They have been so abundant and such an important part of our culture, our economy, and our ecosystems in the Northwest. Any kid who grew up in the Northwest knows about salmon. Probably one of the highlights of their lives were going out and going fishing for salmon. And if they happen to hook one, they'll never forget that. There are about 96,000 kilometers of stream in the Oregon Coast Range. And of those, about a third are considered high intrinsic potential. And of those that are considered high intrinsic potential, only a small fraction actually has good habitat for fish. Intrinsic potential describes the capacity of streams to provide high-quality habitat for fish. For example, coho prefer pool habitats over faster-flowing riffle habitats. And so areas that have low gradients and wide floodplains are more likely to form pools than areas that have steep gradients and channels constrained by the adjacent hill slopes. The highest intrinsic potential are in these areas that are low gradient and have wide valleys, and those are exactly the kind of places that people like to live, and so that's where we build our cities. And as population increases in the Willamette Valley, around Portland, over on the coast, over the next 100 years, we expect that those urban centers that are already there are going to expand and move into more of the area that has the potential to provide high quality habitat for salmon.
The Delta Ponds is an old site that was gravel mined in the 1950s and 60s. It remained kind of unimproved for many, many years, and we have recently completed a 10-year restoration project. The main goal of the restoration project was to provide overwintering habitat for juvenile Chinook salmon. So we reconnected the ponds to the Willamette River to allow water to flow into the ponds during winter months. Since the Delta Ponds has been reconnected to the Willamette River, we have found juvenile Chinook salmon in the interior portion of the ponds. Chinook salmon in their juvenile life stage need areas of slow-moving water adjacent to rivers to move out of that fast-moving current. Ultimately, we'd like to see the populations of salmon stabilize, certainly ideally stabilize and not continue to decline. It's hard to say whether we can make enough improvements to increase salmon populations, but we'd like to get them off the endangered species list and at least provide enough habitat to maintain.
If the salmon populations decline substantially, we don't fully understand all of the effects that could have on our ecosystem. We know that salmon are incredibly important because they bring back marine nutrients from the ocean into fresh water. As human populations increase, that puts pressure increasingly on habitats for salmon, and as our population increases, the populations of salmon are likely to decrease. We're at a critical juncture where we can invest and make decisions that are going to be consistent with the long-term conservation and survival of these fish, or we can admit that we're not going to make the changes necessary and the fish are not going to be around for the next generation.